Hey guys, hey, want to say thanks for joining me again. I'm plan is, or the hope is, to go ahead and run the second adventure. It's actually the second of the starter adventures, which is called Journey from the West, I believe. The first one was where we went through, we did Journey from the East. We met our two heroes, the barbarian and the dwarf, which was our hero character. Not, I'm sorry, not our warrior characters. They're basically just brute melee fighters. And this one, they're going to introduce us to range in the game, like our range characters, our ranger, and our wizard characters, which is going to have the spells. So they're going to try to introduce us to those mechanics, and that's what I'm going to try to run through on this game. So hopefully my lighting is a little better. I apologize for the last video I made. The lighting was kind of crappy in the house, but I'm trying to upgrade that and get a little bit better here. So hopefully things turn out a little bit easier on the eye for this one, and we'll go ahead and get that set up. So what I've already done here is I already pulled the components that I'm going to be needing, and I'm going to get that set up real fast, and we'll go ahead and do, just make sure I'm saying the right names here. So for Adventure A, we did Journey from the West. We met our two warrior characters, and now that we're going to be doing Adventure B, which is Journey from the East, and we'll be doing our range characters, which is the wizard and the ranger. And the map's a little bit bigger, and as before, as I said, I'll be taking control for both the Overlord player and the hero players. And I'm going to do this until I actually start the real quests for Dungeon Saga. And once I do that, I'm going to be switching over to the Invisible Overlord card, which is going to take control of the enemies, so I can actually just play the hero's part and kind of run through this campaign solo. So, alright guys, I'll be right back, and I'll have everything. Alright guys, so looks like I got stuff set up here from what they indicated on Adventure B here. I got the booklet here off to the side. And so what we have is we have our two heroes, I'm going to say this wrong, Madriga, which is our elf ranger. And then we have Denor, which is our human wizard. And they're both set up right here. And we have our first door here, which we can't look anything beyond that over here. And we have our two bone piles down here, which is what we're going to start off with. Now this door is protected by a ward, a magical ward, and the only one that can break those down is going to be a spellcaster. And they're going to have to use the break ward spell. And they gave us a few other ones that we're going to be using. They also equipped Danor with Burn, Fleet of Stone, and Flame Bolt. And if we come up using those, I'll kind of describe those in the video during the game. And then she's also going to have some energy power crystals, which she uses, basically burn them to give her an additional die when casting a spell. So that'll be real nice. They also gave a healing potion to Magda for that. And I went ahead and drew my 3 Overlord cards that we're going to be using. I'll have our dice here. And we have our Overlord card here, which is going to tell us everything that happens. And our extra pieces are over here once we actually start setting up and exploring those rooms out. Then we'll make it there. So, alright, so we're going to get started. I'm not going to read all the flavor text or anything because I don't really want to spoil any of that for you if you actually have the game and want to play it. But so what we have here is we have our two heroes that have come, and they're making the journey from the east, and they're making their way through. And so what our victory conditions are is if we open the final door X, and we'll know that when we start revealing things off of the map here. Unfortunately, since I'm playing both the Overlord and the heroes, I know the layout of what it's going to be. But we're going to go through here, got to break down this door, and then we have everything revealed, and we're going to continue on our way up. And once we get through that door, that'll be the hero's victory condition. And the Overlord wins if he cripples one of the heroes. So we have our range ruler here, which is the one we're going to be using for measuring range, just to make sure that we have enough when we want to make a ranged attack. And the rules are pretty clear on it. It's as long as you can draw uninterrupted line using this to the target and the where it's coming from. When there's nothing in between, then it should make just fine. All right, here's what I think we're gonna do. Since the Overlord hasn't gone or anything yet, there's really no reason for us to go down this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my human wizard. I'm gonna go ahead and activate him first, and actually no. I think what I'm gonna do is, since I know that these bone piles are gonna be activated, what I'm probably gonna do first is move the elf out in front here, so I don't end up blocking her off, or him. I don't know if it's him or her, but I don't want to block the elf off from having to shoot. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the elf first and move. I have an 8 of movement, but it doesn't really matter because I only want to move him to this point right here. And I'll continue facing this way, just in case anything wants to pop up over here. And I'll complete out the elf's turn. For the wizard's turn, I'll go ahead and activate and move diagonally here. It's the first one, and now that is going to give me the ability to go ahead and fire off the Break Ward, which is a single magical ward in an adjacent square is reduced in strength by 1. When the ward's strength reaches 0, it's broken. And when we use it, we have to rotate it 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So we'll note that up here. Oh, I'm sorry. We want to only bring it 90 degrees not 180. We only want to bring it 90 degrees here, and then at the end of the turn, everything comes back up 90 degrees. So if since this was a minor spell, I can use it next turn. But if it was a major spell, I would have actually had to go 180 degrees, so that it would have been 2 turns before that one came back up. So we've done the Break Ward, which we only have a ward of 1, so we've reduced this down to 0. So it is now nothing. We can move that. The door's been opened, so now we know we need to go ahead and spawn the rest of our things up to the door here. So this immediately shows itself. So we have that location. I'm going to put this location in. Then we have a warrior scythe here, and then we have a warrior here, and then 2 more bone piles. Take those out where those are going to. Oh, shoot, guys. I messed up bad. Alright. This actually I put the wrong one on it, had a ward of 2. So, I really just messed that up. So that door has never been broken down, but that's alright. The 1 goes onto this door here. So, we actually still have a whole nother turn here. So, this has gone down 1, so actually I could put this one here. Now I've done 1, so now it's a ward 1. Okay, so we didn't open this door, that's why I put it back. So now what we've done is we've completed the turn for both the elf and the wizard. So now what we can do is go ahead and start the Overlord turn. So I'm going to go ahead and give him his turn here. Now for this one, as in the last one, I only get 2 command points. So if I want to do anything outside of that, I need to use my cards here. Looks like I have a lot of Raise the Dead. The max I can have on the board here is 4 warriors and 1 archer. So one of the things I want to do right now is I definitely want to get a ranged character out on the board. And I'm going to go ahead, I'll use my 3 Raise the Dead. So this is my 1 card that I'm playing this turn. I'll go discard right here. And so I'm going to raise this one right here. This one's going to be my archer. Okay, still have 2 more left. And I will do... what am I going to do? I'll raise this one. Put in a warrior. And then I'll go ahead and raise this one as well. Alright, so at this point I have four warriors out and 1 archer. So all of my raise the deads have been accomplished, but I still have my 2 base commands. Now these 2 and this one can't move because they had just spawned out this turn. So what I need to do now is use their movement. All of them have a movement of 4. So I can start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to block line of sight for this one. So 1, 2, 3, and I don't want to block him being able to get out. So actually, it doesn't matter because the turn he pops up, he's not going to be able to move. So all right, so I've left those out. Pretty much everything is done. I really can't do anything else. I've already used my 2 commands. We used my Raise the Dead, so this finishes the Overlord's turn. Now we're going to do end of the round effects. So this one's going to refresh back up, and I'm going to draw 1 card more for the Overlord, so he gets his hand of 3. Now we move it back to the hero's turn. First one I'm going to do is check range, and I know I have good range. So as first action, I'm not going to move him. I'm going to leave him right there. But his second and final action is I'm going to shoot down in here. He has 2 different stats, one for combat dice and one for shooting dice. Okay, so his shooting is what he's better at because he's going to get 4 dice for that. So I'm going to do 4 dice for his shooting. Now the skeleton, as before, has a defense of 2. Oops. So we'll roll 2 die for the skeleton. 4 for the ranger. Okay, so remember we discard any feeble attacks. Skeleton's armor is 2. So anything 2 and under, so that's 2 attacks of mine that are gone. Then we have a 5 and a 3. Skeleton rolled a 4 and a 2. So both of my hits got through, so that returns this one to a pile of bones. Now his turn is finished. He can't do anything else. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use our Break Ward spell to break the ward. So what we've done now is we've completed that ward. This door here is supposed to be a ward 1, so I'm going to remove that. So this door is done. And now our turn is completed because that was the last action he could have taken since he didn't move. Alright, now the Overlord is going to go. Probably be best right about now. We could do 3 extra commands, which would be nice. That means I can move 2. I wouldn't be able, if I use the 3 extra commands, I'd actually lose out a little bit. I could go with the 1 extra command and remove 3 of the skeletons, which would be nice. Alright, I'm going to use Raise Dead 1. I'll burn that. Put this guy back again. Now, I have 2 commands. I'm going to move this guy up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he's in melee. He's actually in the front arc here of this one, so he has to stop. Now they did say they wanted to. Oh, they're actually only introducing Breakaway. Breakaways. They're not actually introducing the whole. You get an extra dice if you end in the front arc or anything like that. But regardless, we'll talk about those rules once we actually get to the real quest. All right. So now what we do is the skeleton archer is attacking our ranger. And our ranger gets 3 combat dice. Not that great. And the skeleton gets an attack dice of 2. So my ranger might get hurt a little bit. Alright, so skeleton rolled a 6 and a 3. Now my armor is 2, so he had no feebles. Now my highest to lowest here is the skeleton 6 beat out my 4, so I did take a single hit. That's going to go on. Like I said, it doesn't matter how many hits you take. It just matters that any amount points damage you get, it's equal to 1 heart. So skeleton did a good job there. All right, so that was my first command. Second one is going to be to move this skeleton. I'm going to move him 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I can leave space open for this one and then the ranger if he wants to shoot. Alright. I think that's all the Overlord can do. So, go ahead and bring this away. Draw his next card. Refresh my skill for the end of the round. And then now we come back to the heroes. Now I want to say that what it did say we needed to focus on in this one, I guess, is our strategy. Our thoughts, anyway. Let's see, where did that go? Is that while Orloff and Rorden like to being in a fight, Draenor and Madriga would rather be anywhere else. They work best at distance, try to stay at least 5 squares away from the enemy if possible, so they cannot move into a fight with you in their next turn. Remember the mission, there's no need to kill all the undead. What's important is getting through those doors and through the dungeon where you can rendezvous with your fellow heroes. So, they do definitely want to move through. The first one I'll do is I'll use, let's see. I could use the healing potion on my ranger here. It says this item may be used during the Overlord's turn in response to taking a wound from an attack and will prevent the wound about to be added. Okay, so I'll go ahead and burn this card and finish that out, and I'll take that wound off of him, so now he's fully healed. The wizard is going to go ahead and go, and he's going to move his 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to use his ward, break ward, so he's already broken that. This one only had 1, double check, yep. It only had 1, so that is gone. And now we bring up the next location here, and final thing, where did you go? Here. We have a door here, and that door is going to be a ward of 2. Alright, so his turn is completed. Now our ranger, wanting nothing more to get the heck out of there, wants to move 7. Let's see, what does our ranger can do? Ranger is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2. Trying to see here. Can you hit that skeleton? Should be able to, even if he hears 6. Dang it. Should be able to. I don't see any issue there. So I'm going to leave the archer up here, and for his final action, he's going to go ahead and take 1 shot at this skeleton up front here. So his combat dice is 4, and skeleton is 2. Oof, Okay, that was a really bad roll for the archer. That's 2 feebles. Let's discard those. So 4 and a 3. So Skeleton did a pretty good job. He blocked 1 shot. The second one got through, but I needed to do at least 2 damage in order to get anything. So, it is what it is. Alright, so now we move into the Overlord's turn. So we have Raise Dead, 3 extra commands and 1 extra command. I'm definitely going to be using 3 extra commands. This is going to give me the most bang for my buck. So I can activate all 5 of my characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move this one. 1. Actually, no. I'm going to start with this one first. That way I don't block myself. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go 1, 2. And then stop here, and I'm going to go ahead and attack the wizard. And he, oh man, he only has a combat dice of 2 and an armor of 1. This is not good. Wow. Okay. So he hits. His 5 got through to my 6, so that was a hit. And his 5 got through to my 4. That's 2 wounds, but again, only take 1 damage. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Alright, so I did have to do a little clarification. The injuries is when you actually make it to the red, but for the intro missions here, they're not actually using wounds or injuries. They only want a crippled, which is going to be all the way here to the end. So we'll cover that when we actually start the real missions. Like I said, they're just wanting to really get us into the game here. Alright, so we moved and hit with him. So now we need to complete our other ones. I have a total of 5, so it's 1, 2, 3. I'll move with him. 1, 2, but I'm going to stop there. And then I'm going to move my archer up. This will be my last one. He has a movement of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to try to shoot the archer, which I believe he's got. Actually, no, he's not going to try to shoot the archer. He's going to shoot this one here, because I believe he can get to it with any part of the base there. And so I'm going to go ahead and throw 2 dice in at that, and then the wizard has only 2 combat dice. That's going to be nuts. Just as before, hopefully this is let me see, make sure I'm doing this right. Maybe 3 dice for the ranged character here. Alright, looks like, oh yeah, shooting dice is actually 3, so he's going to get 1 more for that. To my 2, so hopefully the skeleton rolls, oh, he rolled very, very well. Okay, well, we know he's getting another wound, so I couldn't block it, doesn't matter here. That definitely got a hit coming in. So, whew, that guy's hurting a lot. Alright, so now what we're going to do is that finishes everybody out. So we'll go ahead and refresh all of our things here. Okay. Extra card for the Overlord. And now we definitely want to get our butts out of here. So I'm going to activate my wizard first. He gets a movement of 7. Actually, we're going to be introducing what's called the Breakaway. And in this adventure, we'll introduce Breakaway rule that affect how you move and fight. And once you are next to an enemy, you cannot simply walk away on your next turn. This is called Breaking Away and gives the enemy a free attack as you turn your back. Simply follow the fight rules above, but this time the enemy is the attacker. Oh, shoot. Alright, so he's going to get a free attack on me just trying to move out of here. He's going to get his 2 dice, and I will get my 2 dice. So hopefully I'm not going to take another wound here, just for wanting to run away like a coward. Alright, so he did a feeble roll, so we're going to discard that. However, he got a 4. I only rolled a 2, so he got another hit on me just as I was trying to go away. have 2 more hits until I'm crippled, and the Overlord's 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, after the enemy has made his attempt to hit you, you are free to move away as long as the first square you move into is also not adjacent to an enemy. Alright, so now he's free to go. So he's going to move his 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is going to use his break ward on that door. So now it's a 1. Bring it down 90 degrees. And the archer is going to move away as far away as he can get. 1, 2. Definitely doesn't want anybody taking any more shots at him. So he's going to stay there, and he is going to try to hit, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. Okay, so this might be, he's going to try to hit the ranger, because the rangers actually can do a lot more damage than the other ones can. Alright, so my guy can get 4 dice for shots, and the ranger only has an armor of 1, but he has 2 combat die. Okay. So I rolled pretty well. 2 5s, a 3, and a 2. He did a 3, and so he's just completely obliterated. Alright, so that was good. Got rid of 1 guy. And that finishes out for the hero's turn. Now we move into the Overlord's turn. I'm going to go ahead and, I thought I drew a card. Okay, I did. Perfect. Alright, so we have 2 raised dead, but it's really not going to help us because we only have 1 on the board. So the only one I can play is to give an extra command. So I actually have 3 commands to give, and we'll start just by moving these guys up. And they have a movement of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And as soon as he gets in there, he's going to go ahead and attack. So he'll attack with his 2 dice. And my ranger gets a combat dice of 3. Okay. So he did not too bad. So a 6. Oh, that was a 6, guys. Alright, so I blocked his 6. Also rolled another 6, which blocked a 2, which it doesn't matter because that's a feeble roll of my armor of 2. So that one is gone. So I blocked all of his hits coming in. So that's good. Move this one up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move to here. No, I'll keep it right here. Now move 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm adjacent. I'm going to get another attack. Alright, so 5 and a 3. Okay, looks like I got a 5, a 4, and a 1. So I was able to block his attacks coming in. And this last guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, just kind of trailing behind. And now we move on to the end of the round. So Overlord's going to get his card. Okay. And this one's going to come back up. First thing we'll do is we're going to open that door with the break ward, which is going to kill that. And the door has been opened. And I believe once the door is opened, that is our victory. We've opened the final door marked X. Okay. So, another fireball has erupted into life from Daenor's staff, engulfing the warrior, charging him. The dry rags of the clothes caught in an instant, but the thing just kept staggering on towards him in eerie silence. Flames licking at empty eye sockets from its gaping mouth, and from its, or like some abomination from the abyss, Daenor backed away, flailing at it with his staff until he felt cold stone in his back. He tried to keep calm, breathing deeply to focus on another spell. There was a crack, and the head, still gouting flames, span away in a lazy arc and hit the floor. Like a marionette with its strings suddenly cut, the body dropped to the ground where it continued to smolder. Magdra stood, poised behind it, sword still horizontal from the killing blow. Where sweat and dust caked Draenor's face, Magdra appeared entirely unruffled, as if she had just been for a quick stroll. It appears that we were expected. Even her words were measured and cold, betraying a hint of emotion despite the littling quality of her voice. It appears so, Draenor managed between gasps. Would it be okay if I rested a moment before moving on? Alright, so that is Journey from the East. And our next mission is going to be Adventure 1, which is called Well Met. Alright, so guys, thanks again for joining me on this next adventure. Hopefully I didn't get too much wrong. I haven't got any comments or anything on the last video, so I think I did okay. But I still try to read the rules as much as possible and get right what I can, or fix the mistakes. I know there's a lot of things that I'll need to review the rules for, as far as like the advanced rules, as far as getting extra dice or taking away dice depending on the arc that you're standing in. Also with injuries like this one, you would have been rolling one less. But I mean, look at that too, guys. I was only 2 hits away from being crippled. So the Overlord, I think, did a pretty good job. Didn't really pull any punches. So it's exactly how hard I would have played if I was the Overlord myself. So yeah, it was actually pretty good. So like I said, I appreciate it, guys. Leave any comments that you feel needs to be said. If I got some rolls wrong, just let me know. Be constructive about it, and I'll make sure to get that fixed in our future videos. So, all right.